boys. All right. This is how I always start it. So you can laugh if you need, but welcome to the Athletes Health Podcast here. Athletes, coaches, leaders, learning what we can from you in the mental game, leveling up the overall game. With Sam and Grady here, PAC basketball. You guys want to introduce yourselves here fast? Your age, and
I'm
everything else
Samuel
you got going.
Pendergrass, 17 years old, and I go to Green Valley High School.
My name's Grady Payne, 17 years old, and I go to Capital City High School.
Looking at seniors then?
Yep.
Seniors? About to be seniors. Juniors going to senior year. So you got one more season of full basketball, high school ball.
Yep.
Cool boys. And how long have you been a part of PAC basketball?
I started just last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Last year was also my first year. Liam reached out to me and asked me to come to a tryout, see how I like the team and how I like if I could get the feel of things, and I ended up sticking with them.
So you guys both started last year?
Yep.
What made you transition over to this club, this basketball organization?
I like the program. I like the people on the team. I just like what the whole thing stood for, and Liam's a great guy. So I thought he would be a good guy to play for, and we're part of a really good circuit. I thought we were a competing team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just like how Liam runs things, and just like how our team bonded together. I feel like out of all the teams I've ever played with, it's like PAC was like, it was just the best I've ever been on. We just really got together, and we played on a good circuit, and just the way Liam ran things was good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looked like for me too. And when I've been talking to Liam and everything, now I want to talk to you guys because it seems like the organization is something a little different, right? That's what it almost seems like you guys come through. But and what I told your team too, as we talked before this, what really stood out to me too was the core values. Because I'm sure even just in the 10 minutes I was at practice with you guys, it seems like it was hit on some of the passion, keeping your attitude up, confidence. And I kind of have three things that I always stem to of around like clarity, like you gotta have a vision for what you're doing, confidence in yourself and your team and everything else, which you're kind of hitting on, and composure during the times and like those big tournaments and everything else. What's up? Come on in. No, you're good. You can hop on in whenever. I was just gonna ask them a quick thing about thing I was gonna ask you guys within that was just like your vision, like what you're trying to get at, like how PAC changed it, and you kind of already answered that. So we'll go on the confidence and the composure stuff here in a quick second. Coach Liam, hopping in.
I appreciate it. Sorry.
Want to introduce
Finish it
yourself
up.
again super fast?
Yeah, my name is Coach.
You can hold it.
Oh shoot. My name's Coach Liam Wolf. I am the director of PAC basketball. We are the only Pro 16 team in the state of Kansas.
Yes, sir. I just had them introduce themselves fast. But what I wanted to start to get into a little bit more on that was kind of what they already said, how they saw it differently in the team, how they hopped on and everything else. But then I want to know kind of like confidence-wise, and then that kind of ties right into staying imposed, like those higher pressure. As you said, you're in a new circuit, only pro team that has a lot more pressure on it, has a lot more confidence. But the other thing that I like to do with this is to know how you handle it, how you keep that confidence up, how you stay composed during everything else. Pass it along, see who wants to answer first, and then we'll even get some stuff from Coach here too.
I
But
feel like on the confidence side, it's comes with a lot of trust, and just like main thing is like trusting my teammates. You gotta trust them to make the extra pass, trust them to make that shot at the end of the game. And just when you build trust, you build confidence within each other, and then you're gonna build confidence within yourself.
Yeah, like Grady said, last year trust was a big part of our team. That's why we were so successful, because we knew who to get the ball to, and everyone had a job on the team. And that's thanks to him giving us our roles and us just playing through each other and trusting each other with the ball.
I think especially going into this new year, right? We kind of had that underdog mentality, and in a way, I still think, and at least in my mind, I think I still feel like we're the underdog. Like being the newer Pro 16 team and being the new Pro 16 program, and kind of coming in and being able to, like they flew me down to Miami for the coaches meeting, and it was super awesome. And they're like, oh, they moved you guys up, like, oh, we got to play you guys, like, so like it's a good compliment, right? Like because I'm a firm believer that we do things the right way, and preparation helps us a ton. And then kind of going with the confidence, like instilling that, like it's one for me to instill confidence in them, but they instill that confidence into each other as well. Like I said, the trust we build, and whole thing going into this year is for us is like ad necessity, maintain our identity. because faces change sometimes. Like even people on teams change, but it's like what I'm saying. It's like it's like the goal stays the same.
And can you super fast break down that identity, just to reiterate it?
Yeah. So a big thing with us, our identity, which of course you look at like passion, attitude, confidence, is what we try to instill in our guys. But some of the more on the court stuff, especially, is like we hang our hat on defending, rebounding, and communicating. And when you start with those three things, everything else kind of builds off of it. So we really emphasize defense, and then really good defense leads to really good offense, right? And it leads to as simple as is like I got on these guys. We had our first practice, and they weren't like talking. So it's like you start the habits, building those good habits now. So then, when it's last 4 minutes of a game, and you have, it's a 2-point game, and we call a timeout, that they trust each other, they trust me, they trust the plan that we're going to go out, and then they go out and execute it.
Yeah, and so this is going to be perfect because you guys are talking about how it's that team thing, and you already iterated that before. Liam was saying that how you put that trust in your team and everything else. And I asked you, how do you like define that identity, right? Because it seems like a lot of programs and a lot of players, they have that general identity of like defense or defensive team or everything, but you actually like hit on it and you hone it and you use it all the time. It's not just another club, team, and everything else. And he brought this up, and I want to ask you guys about this, of those last minutes on the clock. Having it, he says, it comes back to practice. You may not even think about that too much for how you guys play, but I want to bring this up to your attention just to get that viewpoint out to other people, right? Because as I've kind of been telling you, that what I can learn from you can help out so many other people too. Last couple of minutes are on the clock. It's a 2-point game, and you two are in the game. How are you handling that? Are you just playing it like practice? You're just balling out? What are you doing to make that game the most of it? Do you know what I mean by that?
Mhm.
Kind of understanding it?
Yeah, well, like Liam said, it comes back to habits. And when things get the hardest, you fall into your habits. So you want to make them the best you can. So, like at practices, you do want to go as hard as you can and make the right decisions by talking and rebounding. So we just got to stay level the whole time. Don't let like a mistake let us completely fall off in a close game like that or important sequence like that. And you just got to keep the mindset of keep going until the clock's hit 0.
Yeah, and I just feel like what kind of Sam said, it goes back to your habits, but we got to build our habits during practice. So when we are tired, maybe on the last sprint, we just got to like push through it. So if we can make stuff easy during practice, it's going to make the games a whole lot easier. So everything we do in practice, we got to give 100%, even if it's just as little as boxing a person out. We just got to keep building them. And if we build them in practices, it's going to translate to the game.
Mm-hmm. You take practice the hardest you can, you make it the best you can. So then the game, I was just learning more about this too. The game is just basically practice. The higher the level of the game, the more it needs to just be practice, right? That's kind of how I just took about it. And that's what it seems like you guys hit home. One of the last things I had for you, as I said, we were going to kind of make this fast, is like, what do you think separates? Now you're going to have to put your ego on here a little bit. You need your ego a little bit for this. What separates you two from other people, like other people in the area, just in basketball in general? But hype yourself up a little bit, just for like any coaches or anyone else trying to look out for you, because I want to see what makes you two special that you think.
Just my mentality. Like I am big for my height, but still like I could be considered a small guy compared to a lot of other guys in the circuit. So I just gotta like keep a mentality of, oh, I'm not gonna let him get that rebound. Oh, I'm gonna attack him at the basket. I'm gonna go get that board. And just playing big, playing like I am the bigger person even when I'm not, and just always trying to do the right thing, like being patient in the post. And I know if I don't have a good look, I can kick it out and get it back, and just making the right plays and right reads.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm the best shooter, pretty much any court I step on, and yeah, I'm just the best shooter, even at my height, because I'm pretty tall, and people don't think I can really shoot.
I was
But
gonna say, what's your height? Because you both pretty tall, and you're really tall.
yeah, I'm 6'9".
Yeah.
I'm 6'7".
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much feel like I can shoot over anybody, and I think it's gonna be all net every single time.
I'm gonna have to clip that because when he doesn't shoot the ball and I had to yell at him to shoot the ball, I'm gonna show him that. I mean, I think adding to these two young men, they both were new on our team last year, right? And we had a lot of, I think we only returned 2 guys from our 15U to our 16U last year. And going from 16s to 17s, like I said, maintain our identity, add necessity. I think a lot of them, they hit it on the head perfect. I was literally just telling our other coaches, I think last year Sam really put us over the top. We've never had a post player like him in our program. And no offense to Sam, he's not the most flashy guy. He's not the guy that is gonna just like look great on paper, maybe necessarily, but when you take it at the end of the day, everyone's got to play basketball and put the shoes on the same way. And Sam does so many of the little things the right way that really sets him apart from some of those guys who, might be a little taller, a little bigger, like you said, but he has that mentality of being the strongest guy on the court. And, maybe if a guy is bumping him a few times, like he's going to bump him right back and he's going to go get the rebound. And, you trust him to be in the right help side, right? And then you flip it to Grady, and Grady is, kind of like a silent assassin until you get to know him, then he doesn't stop talking. But he is one of the best shooters on the court every time in the gym, right? But it's when his mentality lets him. I watched him with his school team a lot, and he took almost every contested open three, right? And I'm on him all the time about letting that fly. And the big thing with him is he's now starting to put on a little weight on. He's filling out a little bit. He still looks skinny. Don't get me wrong, Grady. But from last year, like he's taken a lot stronger, playing well above the rim now. And then where he releases it, it's so high, it's hard to get a hand on it, right? So for him, the biggest thing is the mentality and the trust of that the people around him want him to shoot it, and that we want him to shoot it, that he has to let that thing go. And that's why I'm going to clip that and make sure he knows he's the best player in the gym.
I'll clip it. And the other thing I was just going to add to that for both of you, and just what I hear on all of it is it is kind of that underdog, right? You have to play almost with that chip on the shoulder of confidence, which it sounds like both of you do, but also that chip on the shoulder to make that name known, make something happen out of it. That there's always that next level that you have to reach towards, no matter what it is that you're searching for, what you're looking for, and in the program itself too, which is why it's so cool to me. And basketball is my first love. I do this with other sports too, but I want to come talk some basketball, some shop with you guys. I'm trying to think if you guys have anything else, any other last points, things you want to say, anything on the performance side, like not mental health side, but mental performance side of what gets you locked in, how you get locked in for a game, anything else on that sorts. I love to know that. But otherwise, then we'll wrap it up because I know you got to go to another practice here, so I don't want to take too much of this time.
Before a game, I just try not to get like too nervous about it. I just think of it as another game, like it's just a game. Go out there and enjoy it. I know things aren't going to go my way the whole time. Just got to get back and bounce back every time like I'm making a mistake or an error, and just come back better and not let like those mistakes weigh me down, and try to like make improvements on those mistakes to not bring the whole team down too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just lace them up, just get ready for the game. Not too worried about any game. I just enjoy them, and I know I don't have a lot of time left. It's our last AU year, and only have one more high school year left. So just enjoy every single game I get and every single opportunity.
I think a lot of it goes back to the preparation we do in practice, and the preparation these guys do off the court as well. We do a really good job trying to get them scout. This year we're going to break down film a lot more. And then, like it is, kind of talking about how hard we push them at practice, make it well harder than games. So then they shine in those biggest moments, right? And then as well as they are high school boys, right? A lot of people forget about that. There's a kid I was talking to at one point and about coming to play for us. And I watched they did like a mic'd up with him at his high school. And he was like, you talk about, how you recruit a kid to your program and stuff like that. And I lose sight sometimes that they're, 15, 16, 17, right? Whereas, like this kid's 16, 17 years old or whatever it was at the time. And he is a mic'd up release, and it's like him talking about, man, I hope it's a snow day tomorrow. So it's like they're kids at the end of the day, right? So, we train them to be great young men, but as well as, get them, prepare them as well as we can for those moments, because at the end of the day, they are young men, right? Yeah. So I think it goes to the preparation, and then, continuing to put in the work off the court that gives them that confidence to then, in the biggest moment, shine.
Let's top that off with y'all saying, I call this, it's the helping your confidence performance in both sports and life. Because you probably got prom this year, right? You still got prom to go to?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So you got all this other stuff besides just basketball. So it is to just get you ready for everything else. Eventually, all this stuff you're doing in basketball, the preparation, is going to spend off and everything else. And I was just going to tie the one more thing with Coach Wooden, one of the top coaches ever, could fall asleep before his games. He'd be as prepared as he could be for it. He didn't really care. Could lace up his shoes with not a worry in the world and just have fun doing it. So Sam Grady, I appreciate your time here, Coach Liam. Appreciate it a lot. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add on here. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up.
Shout out PAC basketball.
Yep. I like it. We'll cut it there. Thanks, boys.